bring in Wyoming Senator John Barrasso. He is chairman of the Senate Republican Conference. Sir, thank you for joining us. You heard what Senator Paul had to say there. Meanwhile, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says $1 trillion is a pittance. That's not the exact word she used, but she said, it's not nearly enough. We're not thinking big enough at all. What is the right number that will help people but is still responsible in terms of the debt we're passing on to our children and grandchildren?
Well, you framed it beautifully, Melissa. You're absolutely right. And that's why I have a test that I apply that I think that your viewers would agree with is anything that we spend. And I believe we do have a role in the recovery. Government has a role to play. Anything we spend has to basically focus on the disease in terms of accurate, quick response testing, better treatments, and I'm optimistic in the treatments we're having, and in a vaccine. And I'm really optimistic about what I hear today in terms of new vaccines. That's number one, healthcare. Number two is helping make sure people can get back to work and children can get back to school. That is critical. And then third, we need to make sure that there is liability protection for our schools, for our healthcare workers, and for the mom and pop businesses that want to reopen. And right now we know there have been over 3,500 lawsuits already filed by the sue and settle lawyers, all focused on coronavirus. We can't open businesses or schools safely under that threat.
Senator Barrasso, I wonder, when it comes to a payroll tax cut, which is one of the things that you're considering, I've heard so many Democrats say that this is only a tax cut for companies and the wealthy, when mathematically and factually, we know that that is totally false, that instantly minimum wage earners would see their wages go up by something like 3 or 4%, depending on where you are. Why are Republicans so bad at messaging? Why aren't you able to get out there and make the case that the lowest earners among us would instantly see more money in their paycheck?
Well, you're absolutely right. They would see more money, and that's why one of the reasons that the president is proposing this for people that actually have jobs, it helps them keep more of their hard-earned money. For people that don't have jobs, we need to do more to help them come back to work. So we need to do both things. There are a number of ways to do it. But you also contrasted what the Democrats want to do. They've already passed a bill over $3 trillion. And the real problem with it, Melissa, is so much of it doesn't focus on the disease or getting people back to work or back to school. What they focus is political payoffs to their friends, hundreds of billions of dollars paying people more to not work than to go to work, and paying for cities and for states that have been amazingly irresponsible over the last decade to bail out their pension programs. And that's why we cannot do that. That would be completely irresponsible and a misuse of taxpayer dollars.
But the messaging, the way they make it sound, is they're sending money out to help people who can't make ends meet. And my point is that why aren't you guys better at getting that message out there? That when you talk about this unemployment insurance, why don't you bring up the woman who can't get people to come back to her salon because they're making more money at home rather than coming to work? Real quick, final word to you.
You can't pay people more to not work than to work. That all ends on July 31st. What we know is 3 out of 4 people who are getting these bonus checks, which was what they are in the original CARES Act, are making more to not work. We have help wanted signs all around Wyoming. People need to get back to work. Employers are looking to hire people, and on July 31st, this enhanced unemployment bonuses ends. Nancy Pelosi wants to extend it, Melissa, all the way till the end of January. Heavy wet blanket on our economy will stop people from getting back on the job.
Senator Barrasso, thank you for your time this morning. Martha.
Thanks, Melissa.